I just walked through this home behind us. This community is really unique. I'll get into the details later in the video, but let's just suffice it to say, it has a walking trail from this community to the Williamson County Rec Center. This is a gated community. We're talking reasonable price range, 1 to 1.4 million for this area is reasonable. We have some really interesting design choices. We even have an area that seems almost specially picked out to have a 10-foot plus Christmas tree. It has a lot of design choices in the bedrooms upstairs that are unusual, that this particular floor plan, I think, showcases how this builder has really started to build a reputation within Williamson County. We're gonna get all into this later in the video, but you're not gonna regret checking this one out because it even has a downstairs office that wraps around and has an opening that goes straight to the butler's pantry and a large living space. This community is all spec homes. We only have 10 lots left, I think, here. I am not with the builder. My name is Richard Royer. I am your buyer's agent that specializes in new construction in the greater Nashville area. And we're about to check out this floor plan. Let's get to it. All right, we're walking in now. We got a covered porch. I'm liking the looks of these double wide doors. What a cool space. Look how high the ceiling goes. But you're also like pretty much met with a lot of sight lines that take you to, I don't know, Curiosity around the corner. Left, it looks like we have a really, really high-end office, lots of detail. We've got some nice build-ins, really extensive. You have some really great natural light just coming in. This area has a walking trail that takes you to the Williamson County Rec Center. Wow, okay, so this is connecting to the butler's pantry. This is like an office. You got a half bath across the way, stairs going up, you know, French doors, double French doors here. And then you've got these build outs, butler's pantry. So we got a walk-in pantry, goes straight to the kitchen. Cool. That is not too common. And this is a huge pantry. Very large walk-in pantry. Office, butler's kitchen, pantry, open living and dining room. Huge hood above that gas stove. So they have gas here. No storage on this island, but it is an oversized island that allows seating. And it looks like huge amounts of quartz countertop space for cooking, underlighting, soft touch close on everything. So this is very high end, and we'll get to the builder community and floor plan at the end, but I am just soaking in this design right now. It looks like we've got engineered hardwood flooring throughout. Gas fireplace inside, gas fireplace outside, covered porch. I think these are 1/4 of an acre lots in Thompson Station. We have a gas fireplace outside, but just wanted to highlight real quick. You can see it has double sliding glass doors. That's cool. Small little touch. You can normally just overlook that, but this is gonna have a lot of windows, 2 ways to go in and out. Covered porch, it's not screened in. I kind of would love for it to be screened in, but in this particular community, I know they told me that they're just doing spec homes. So what you see is what you get. This is a very particular floor plan. We'll get into that later, but one of the things I think is gonna highlight this community the most is gonna be their walking trail around, and it is a gated community. And it doesn't have other amenities, but because you're so close to the rec center and you can walk there, I thought that was a nice little touch. So it ends up having a cheaper HOA price than what you get from most gated communities in the area. Gated communities are always gonna have a higher HOA than what you would normally expect. Cool little design, taking you down a notch with the height to a new room. This is the primary. Vaulted ceilings, exposed wood beams, shiplap on the walls. Love this design. This is a great design. Lots of windows. Goes into another hallway. You see it kind of drop down again from the ceiling, giving you this really cool sight line. You just see an oversized tub. Closets on the left and right side, I'm guessing. And storage. Yeah, pretty sizable amount of storage in this one. Not like a gigantic walk-in, but I'm guessing this is gonna be mirrored on this side, if not a little bit smaller. Yeah, this one's a little bit smaller. So this is probably gonna be the his and hers. Engineered hardwood that extends in there, and we're not doing carpet. Yeah, build-ins, linen closet. Love this design so far. Look at that tile work. Nice choice of tile. So this looks kind of like wood, but it is tile. And it has, like, it's a different shade than the cabinets, but it matches it really well and gives a lot of really natural feel, spa-like feel with this color work and tile work. It is great. Tile, quartz, lots of space. On the other side, it's mirrored. Cool. And you have this in the middle. Props to the design. Excellent design. And then we have this walk-in shower. There's no bench or seat in here. Good amount of space, you know, some more intricate tile work there. You have two different ways to get wet. And it looks like they did a great job of sealing this in. I would not be too worried about getting water out of this. Sturdy door, goes both ways. We're gonna have the water closet, yep. Nothing too fancy about that one. Okay, so primary downstairs, complete. Now we're gonna check out around the corner up here. I believe this is going to be 2-car garage. I think they already sold out of 3-car garages here. Gas. Okay, so it's KitchenAid, appliances, and then only one oven. Some places like have like a double oven. So that's the microwave. Sometimes the microwave can be in the island. This is the garage, which is gonna be 2-car garage. You have the drop zone, mudroom, you got build-ins here. Oh, they have wallpaper on that ceiling. I just noticed that, that's nice. Crown molding throughout. I'm just taking a look. Yep, they have crown molding all the way around. Forgot to point that out before. It extends in here. High ceilings, cabinet work, tile, great use of the colors. Not a ton of lighting in here. It's kind of darkish. I would probably use maybe a brighter light, but it also gives a different feel. Just something to consider. Huge washer and dryer, enormous sink. And because these are spec homes, you know, you're not gonna really be able to change too much. I think they're very limited changes. So what you see is kind of what you get for this particular floor plan, which takes out a lot of the guesswork and headaches. It can always be really annoying and painful sometimes to do the design work. Sometimes it's nicer to have somebody do it for you, but to each their own. I just wanted to stop here for a second to be like, this is a great spot for a huge Christmas tree, because this is one of the few places you could actually have something that's like a 10-foot tree and it doesn't dominate like a living room area, or you could have both. I know someone that, I swear, y'all, she has 20 Christmas trees every Christmas that she sets up in her house, and she adds one every year or something. It's crazy. But with this kind of setup, you might be able to work your way up to that, because you could have a big Christmas tree here. It could extend really, really high up. I mean, you don't have a lot of width here, but you have a lot of height to work with, and it wraps around so you could walk around it. That's a nice little touch. And I'll just highlight the fact that I really like the design of this half bath. I really like that. I think it makes a world of difference having like an upgraded half bath. You can even see the crown molding is painted. The design work on the wall it's great. Having just a plain, very plain half bath is like, I mean, most of your guests are just gonna use that downstairs. That's like, it's a big deal. Okay, so we got more engineered hardwood up here. Looks like hardwood on the stairs. Loft area, reasonably big. I don't think you could get too crazy with a pool table and stuff without it really eating into a lot of the living space, but large enough. And then we're gonna have 2-door storage in this loft area. I like the sight lines going down. You can see the front door from up here. And then I believe this is gonna be storage. Yep, just more storage, so double storage on either side here. So it's just got tons of storage. You see the door frames drop a lot. Downstairs door frame's really high. Up here, especially with this bedroom, it drops down a lot. Another interesting design choice. You go in, it goes back up. You know, signifies like a pretty big design shift. We got wallpaper. We got really different style of bedroom. I think we're gonna see probably more of that as we go further out. Ensuite. Oh, I like that privacy wall. Y'all, I love a privacy wall in these upstairs bathrooms. I'll talk about it in a second, but once again, great design choice with the colors, the tile work. You don't have this locked away, but you got this nice privacy wall. Nice. I like the tile work. Okay, the material is not super cheap. Sometimes you see this kind of cheap out, but this is solid. Lots of windows. I like the half bath down there. I like that ensuite, excellent. Also, it's carpet up here. Pretty nice absorbent carpet for the step. Maybe you don't get stains out very well, but it's comfortable. Huge walk-in storage area. This is incredible. And you see it from far away too. So we got bedroom on the left, bedroom on the right. Enormous walk-in storage. Going in, going in, going in, gonna turn around. You could fit more than bikes up here. Although probably better for the garage. It's just like, not too often do you have storage area upstairs for something as ridiculous as a bike. Which is hard to normally store, but very unique storage space. Love the design of this bedroom already. See that corner wall, gives a lot of character. Looking at, you know, new houses all day, like I start to see when these designers get a little bit bored, they're like, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with just rectangles for these upstairs bedrooms. Let's get a little bit more interesting. Even if it eats up some of the height, it just feels cozier and it just makes it feel different. And sometimes different is good. Sometimes different is needed. Another like good use of the sizing difference of this room is like you have a uniquely shaped closet. Stands out. And this is a very big bedroom, ensuite. Walk-in shower. Doesn't have like the privacy wall, but you can't really fit that in here. This is a little bit flimsy. I would knock them a little bit on this. Not too impressed with this because like there is a big difference between the shower setup downstairs and here. Like this is really flimsy, y'all. Like I would get that shift. That's one of the first things I would get changed out. I love everything else, but like I would get that shifted out. I would even ask them if I could get like before they, even though they're spec homes, I think maybe that's something that you could probably get shifted out to something nicer. I do like that they have like, you know, storage and built in on that in the shower though. So you don't have to have like a shower caddy in there. It's just a nice little touch. But yeah, I'll get that swapped out. Okay. Now let's check out this other bedroom on the other side. Definitely more standard. Look at it, like just compare back to the other two bedrooms we looked at. This is way smaller. This is more of the boring run-of-the-mill standard bedroom, and sometimes people like that. So you got different size bedrooms, different shapes. This is more of like the standard, what I'm used to. You know, I still like that it drops down a little bit, adds just something. But yeah, this is a very, very plain Jane upstairs bedroom, very small. Did we look at this one already? No, we didn't. I like the tile work, intricate tile. Oh, you can feel the design. It's not just for looks. It's got a different grip. And cabinetry, yeah, decent. Standard ensuite. Not a big fan of having the toilet right next to that in an ensuite. You need a privacy wall or something, but you know, maybe I'm a little bit spoiled because I've seen so many new construction and I know it's possible. All right. I like this. Another bold choice with wallpaper. Obviously, I think you can get that stuff swapped out. These are spec homes, but you know, like those kinds of things are like an addition because this is a model. So yours wouldn't necessarily have this wallpaper, or in some cases, they don't even let you shift out to have wallpaper, but they may have that in the model home. You sometimes just have to ask. There's sometimes features that aren't something in the community, but they just have it in the model. Just something to be aware of. Okay, so we walked all throughout. So this is the part of the video where we're gonna get into the details. You know, I get a lot of calls, texts, and emails, but like I like to give you all the details at the end if I can, to give you the download. So let's get into the pricing, the community, the floor plan, the HOA, this area, what to expect, and everything else. This is the part where we really break it down. So we are looking at, this is the Fairhaven community. This is Dream Home Finders, and we are looking at the Foxmoor. I've got my notes over here just to make sure I get it all precise. The price ranges are gonna go from 1 to 1.4 in this community. This is a gated community. I think they have 10 lots left out of 48. And one of the cool things about this community is it is gated. The HOA is $265, includes internet. Gated communities are typically higher HOA, but would go up from there if there are amenities. This is in a really cool part of Thompson Station, in which there's a walking trail that goes right here to the Williamson County Rec Center. Amazing. So really smart and well planned is like, you don't have to have a higher HOA or support the extended, what's the best word for it? Decay of like an older community that has amenities. You'd have to like sustain that. It would go up over time. This would be less likely to do that because you don't have amenities, but also you do, because you have this walking trail that goes to the Williamson County Rec Center. So I'm guessing if you get a membership there, you are gonna be set when it comes to what you would need for fitness center and pool, and I'm sure they have pickleball and everything else these days, but you'd have to double check that. But rec centers are a great way to not have to have everything at home. So we talked about that. HOA is $265, that's internet trash. It is gated a community. We are in Thompson Station, Williamson County Schools. We have 1/4 acre to 1/3 acre left. I think the 1/2 acre lots have all been taken. We talked a lot about, no, we didn't talk about Sagefield. So Sagefield is going to be this huge retail space that's going to be built near the amphitheater nearby. So this is in the eastern part of Thompson Station, but they're getting even more. And Thompson Station's like obviously very popular, but like they're expanding a lot of the retail space out this way with Sagefield. So it's going to be an even more prime location within this area because you're getting a lot more shopping close by. So another reason why getting here early makes sense, because it hasn't really been priced up yet. So with these spec homes, you know, you're not gonna be able to make a lot of changes. So with the Foxmoor here, it's gonna be pretty identical to the model, minus like, obviously some of the wallpaper might not be there, and or you can maybe shift that around. Only minor changes. 2-car garage. All the 3-car garages are sold out at this community. I think in the future, they told me that they're gonna have a community across the street that's gonna be not the same, but like, obviously if you like the location, there's gonna be alternatives. And we talk about price. I'm pretty sure they're doing Toll Brothers, not Toll Brothers, Dream Home Finders is doing like a loan deal right now. I think it's in the mid fours for interest rate. One of the big selling points for new construction is obviously like if they partnered with a lender, you're gonna get a much better 30-year rate or, 7/6 ARM. There's lots of options. One of the workarounds for, high interest rates is like, well, it's hard to compete with builders. So older homes typically have just like less selling power in this kind of market because if you did decide to move to this community and use their lender, they'd probably give you a much better deal than at the bank or at your credit union. So one of the other selling points of why like I decided to specialize in new construction was like, y'all, it's tough out there. It is tough out there, and anything I can do to help. And new construction seem to have some of the best deals right now. So that's where a lot of the people moving to Tennessee have decided to kind of shift their attention. So that's why I primed myself in this space. So let's talk about what I liked about this. The primary downstairs had those identical mirrored vanities on both sides with that oversized tub in the middle. Huge points for that. Love that design. Great design. I really like that Christmas tree space behind the stairwell that's going to be behind me in this shot. If you can kind of see that, where that table is. Amazing little nook right there for a large Christmas tree. You don't see that too often in new construction. It's just like a little niche area like that, and this floor plan seems to be good for that. We saw that awesome half bath downstairs, great intricate design. I would say 2 of the upstairs bedrooms like absolutely knocked it out of the park. Different design choices. We had that one plain Jane and then one that was just kind of like, that's pretty cool, but not like especially notable. I loved that this office connects to the butler's pantry and the downstairs living space. Huge bonus points. This feng shui and flow is awesome. Really cool community, Fairhaven and Thompson Station. I haven't checked out the walking trails yet. I'm probably gonna check it out on my way out. But if you're not familiar with the area, Williamson County is just like a very high demand county, just south of Davidson County and Nashville area. And it's just really been able to utilize a lot of the green spaces. You have a lot of historic land out here. And I love to see communities really embrace that and decide to like maintain it, and to, instead of like just bulldozing everything and getting rid of all these old mature trees, this is another good community where they did their best to preserve that. And it's like, just minimalistic in the design of not having all these like extra buildings and amenities. And 2 thumbs up. I love this community. Dream Home Finders has, they did Garrett Farms, was a big fan of Garrett Farms, and they're fast becoming another one of my notable ones because these things just stand out to me. Like they picked a great piece of land. They had a great idea for what they could do, having the rec center so close by. The execution seems to be great. I love their floor plans. As I work more alongside buyers, like potentially yourself, who decide to move to this area or decide to upgrade or downgrade their space, it's kind of like I'll learn more about this builder over time. But so far, I've helped them. I've helped one buyer, interact and go through the process with Dream Home Finders, and they seem pretty good so far. The salespeople have all seemed really blunt, straightforward, have not been playing games with me or anything, which is kind of new. And maybe I just have found the right people to interact with them, but that's always a positive because I know interacting with salespeople can always be annoying and stressful. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. Sometimes you find yourself trapped in someone's script. But my interactions with a lot of builders and the salespeople have been very positive, especially with this community and some of the other ones that Dream Home Finders has done. So we talked about the community, we talked about the builder, we talked about this floor plan, the Foxmore pricing we talked about. I think this one is probably gonna be mid-range between 1 and 1.4, depending on the lot that it's built on. And I think all the 3-car garages are sold out right now. So those are the ones that are gonna kind of inflate it more towards 1.4. But yeah, spec homes, love them or hate them, like it really simplifies the process. A lot of people end up regretting how many design changes they make throughout a building process, and those fees add up because, I mean, you're getting rid of materials, changing things that have already been changed. So sometimes we are our own worst enemies in this building process, and that's one of the reasons why it's a good idea to have a independent, unbiased party involved. You could go straight to the builder and work with them directly, but in my experience as having been an agent, a buyer's agent in new construction, there's oftentimes a lot in the building process that can fall through the cracks. Having a relationship with an independent party from the selling side has a lot of benefits, especially someone like myself that has been in Tennessee most of my life and went to high school in the greater Nashville area. And I love Nashville. The greater Nashville area is amazing. Williamson County has just continued to get more popular. So if you are looking to relocate, or you are already in the area and you're looking for a buyer's agent, you're considering new construction, I would love the opportunity to earn your business. And you can reach out, text, call, or email me. And if you just want to say hi, it's no problem at all. I love talking and meeting with new people. So even if we don't end up working together, all experiences have value. So I'll see you in my next video. Have a good one.